Hey everybody, this is Cody Graves. This is the actual first training of our boot camp for the Summer of Cash that we're doing for Team Fusion Kairos. I wanted to record this so we had a really good audio for anybody that wants to go back and replay it, or also anybody that's in out of market cities or states that might want to hear and join in on this boot camp as well. I know that y'all are unable to come to the live meetings on the weekends, whether it be Saturday or Sunday. So I wanted to record this. For anybody that wants to listen to it and resort back to it for information. So give me just a second. Let me share the screen and then we'll get started with the information. Okay. Like I said, this is boot camp session number 1. So the topics for today are going to be becoming an expert, finding prospects, and building your list. A bunch of topics that we really need to discuss because we got to figure out where we are in this business, and we got to figure out how to get to the next level. So there's 3 types of people in our industry. There's posers, amateurs, and experts. Posers treat this profession as a lottery ticket. They're hoping to hit it big with as little effort as possible. Most people get started hoping to ride others' coattails. Some people may get lucky, but that is only for the short term. Remaining in the poser category is a bad idea. Now that you know what to look for, you can graduate to the next level of becoming an amateur. So a lot of people get into this business and they get attached to the hype. They get sold out to the hype. They see the potential, but they don't think about what it's going to take and how much work it's going to take to put into this to get this thing to work. So that's what majority of people, I would say, come into this business as posers, unless they have some sort of experience in the industry or something like that. People typically start off as posers. They don't really look at all of the work. They don't really break anything down, but they come in just with excitement and just anticipation and wanting to change their life. Again, not really thinking about what goes into that. So the next category is going to be amateurs. Amateurs focus on luck, signing them up. I've got a little weak internet connection. Okay, I think I'm back now. Amateurs focus on getting lucky up someone and hoping that they're that nugget who will come into their business as natural rock stars and blow it up, or possibly landing a rock star upline who might place people underneath them. Don't be that person. This is not something where somebody's going to give it to you. Nobody's going to give this business to you. Some people do get lucky, but whenever they do get lucky, it's for a very short time. And that's not going to sustain. That's not going to last. So you have to know the skills. You have to develop the skills. You have to learn the skills to have this be a long-term, sustainable business for you. So being in the amateur category obviously is a step up for being in the poser category, but it's definitely something that you want to get away from as fast as possible. Amateurs focus on timing. They wonder things like, did they get in early enough? Are they the first person in a new market? How many distributors are already involved? And were they too tough? Are they too tough to compete against? Were there enough people in the town to gain momentum? Was it the company or team? Was it the company or team too big, too small? Did they miss the growth curve? Okay, so all these things are semi-important, but they're definitely not make or breaks for your success in the business. So it really is all up to you and the effort that you want to put into this business, whether you're successful or not. So don't expect to hit the lottery with the timing and with the number of people in the market and all that kind of stuff. Don't worry about any of that stuff. This business is all up to your effort, and how much you put into it is what you're going to get back from it. So some other things amateurs focus on, they focus on positioning. They're concerned about if they're in the right organization with the right leaders, with the right team. They say things like, do other people have a better position? Would I do better somewhere else? And here's the simple answer to that. The answer is no. You have to grow where you're planted. You have to get into this business with the person that introduced you to it. You can't switch teams once you're already in, once it's already said and done, no matter how bad you want to. You can't switch teams. It's against Kairos policies, against Team Fusion's policies. So you have to grow where you're planted. But the cool thing is you can develop the skills to be able to grow no matter where you are in the organization, no matter where you are in the country, whether there's people around you or not, whether there's meetings, weekly meetings, DFYs, anything. You can start a market if you develop the right skills. So amateurs focus on shortcuts. They look for angles or strategies. They try things that don't follow a proven successful system in their company. So in our company, we have the done for you model. And people that they don't want to get outside of their comfort zone and actually talk to people. So they resort to doing a lot of these things that seem like they're doing work, that seems like they're exposing people, but that really are ineffective. And they've been proven to be ineffective over the course of time. So the only thing that's going to work in this business is actually going out and talking to people individually, building relationships, and getting people into the business that way, or introducing people to the product that way. So here's some examples of what I mean. And I'm not saying by any means that these things won't work, but I'm saying that you should develop the skills before trying these things. I think that if these things do work, that they're more, I think they'd be more effective if you did them a little bit later on in your business. Because what happens if they do work and you start bringing people in for these, you still don't know what to do with those people. And you're going to have a bunch of orphan distributors or people that aren't making money on your team because you simply don't know how to lead them. You don't know how to train them and mentor them. So here's some things that I'm talking about, like newspaper ads, social media ads, radio ads, help wanted signs by the road, passing out flyers, doing booths at expos, going door to door. The amateurs have tried it all instead of sharpening their skills. An amateur is always looking for what they believe is an easier way. So that kind of goes back to what I was saying. They want to do things that seem like they're exposing people to business, that seem like they're doing work, that seem like they're getting the IBAs that are necessary to grow the business, but they just simply aren't doing the right things. They're doing the things that are inside of their comfort zone. They're doing the things that make them feel comfortable, but also make them feel busy. So don't do these things. You have to actually develop the skills and follow the done for you model. So here's what you want to be. And excuse me just a second. I got my dogs outside. They decided to be a really good time to play. So give me just 1 second. All right, I apologize for that. So becoming an expert, this is where you want to be. This is obviously what we all strive towards being in this business. We want to become experts. We want to become professionals. So first of all, you have to make a decision to become a professional. It's as simple as that. That's the very first step, is making a decision. Once you make a decision, you commit to something, there's no turning back, because commitment in my eyes, and the way I define commitment is no excuse is accepted. Once you commit to something, no excuse is accepted for not making that thing happen. So Wikipedia's definition of a professional is a person who is paid to undertake a specialized set of tasks and to complete them for a fee. The definition of a network marketing professional is a person who is an expert at the skills required to build a large and successful network marketing organization. So the bottom line is, if you're going to be involved in this great profession, decide to do it right and treat it like a professional. If you go pro, this business is great. If you stay a poser or an amateur, you're going to be miserable. And that's 100% the truth. If you're in this business and you're not doing the right things, you're going to beat yourself up because you know you're supposed to be doing the right things. You can't make yourself do them. You refuse to get outside of your comfort zone. You refuse to do the things that are required to make this business a success for you. So it makes it a miserable experience. So if you decide to go pro, you make that decision today to become an expert, to be a professional network marketer. This business is going to be great, and it's going to be fun, and it's going to be the best thing that you've ever done. And it's going to be, you're not going to be able to see yourself doing anything else. But if you stay in the other two categories, odds are you're not going to have a very good time in this business. So network marketing is a real profession, but requires skills. These skills require practice, but if you practice them enough, you can become a professional or an expert. So very few people get into this business with the skills that it requires to be a professional right off the bat. But the good news is, for every single person that's listening to this, is that you can develop those skills and become a professional or an expert. All you have to do is just practice, and it comes from repetitively doing the things that are required to make this business grow, and doing them on a consistent basis, on a daily basis. So in the book Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, his research showed that it takes approximately 10,000 hours of practice to reach the expert level at anything. That's a lot of hours. So if you break that down, that's 4 hours a day for 7 years that you would have to practice something to become an expert. And that's not just a network marketing stat. That's anything in the world, 10,000 hours of practice to become an expert at it. So if you want to play tennis, you have to practice 10,000 hours to become an expert. If you want to get good at, anything, just pick it. You have to do 10,000 hours to become an expert in that field. So that adds up 4 hours a day for 7 straight years of consistent action. So that applies well to the formula of network marketing. Luckily for us, it's a forgiving industry, and you can grow to make a significant income along the way. The trick is to never become complacent and always earn while you learn. So the cool thing about network marketing is that we don't have to be a professional or an expert to be able to make money. As a matter of fact, in network marketing, you can make a lot of money if you're not an expert or a professional. There's nobody in Team Fusion that has been in this company for 7 years. So nobody is a professional. There's people making lots and lots and lots of money in this business without becoming experts or professionals. So imagine when you get to that 7-year mark of consistent practice, once you get to that 10,000 hour mark, imagine how good you're going to be and imagine how much money you're going to make. So remember, don't make QV your rank or rank your goal. Make growth the goal. If you focus on practicing the skills and getting better, no one can stop you. So every day, just wake up and say, I'm going to be a little bit better than I was yesterday. I'm going to practice the skills that are required for me to become an expert or professional today, a little bit more than I did yesterday. And that's going to advance me in my business. And do that every single day. And you're going to get better and better and better. And then eventually you're going to get to the 10,000 hour mark and you're going to be an expert. So obviously, if you're watching this, you're probably not going to be in a room of people. But if you're watching this with a group of people, look at your neighbor and say, I am whatever you do for a living right now, but I'm also a network marketing professional. For example, I'm a bartender, but I'm also a network marketing professional. I'm a doctor, but I'm also a network marketing professional. I'm a computer analyst, but I'm also a network marketing professional, and on and on and on. So whatever that profession is for you, if you're sitting around somebody, turn to them right now and say, I am blank, and I'm also a network marketing professional. The key is to say it loud and say it proud. Speak things into existence. Speak them as if they were. So your thoughts become things. You can speak things into existence. That's the cool thing about this universe, is that we have the power to create anything we want based on our thoughts. So myth busting time. There's a lot of myths in this industry, obviously. I think a lot of us have had a lot of myths busted by becoming a part of this industry of network marketing. I know I thought a lot of different things before I got started, and very few of them were actually true. So we're going to go through several myths and we're going to bust them. So a lot of people get started thinking, oh, I know someone who would be good at this, and they sign up. But don't look at this as a glorified lottery ticket. Imagine a lottery ticket with 6 scratch-off spots. Those spots represent each of the people the new person thinks will join. So I'm sure we've all encountered this if you've done any kind of prospecting in this business at all. You talk to somebody, they get super excited about the information, and then they say to you, oh, I know at least 5, 6 people right off the top of my head, they're going to join this business, that'll do this with me. Or I know this person that knows this person, that this guy is super connected and he's going to be able to blow this up. Well, they approach those people, that's like the lottery ticket. So they approach those people and they try to get them to join. And because of their lack of skills, most people end up with nothing, just like the lottery ticket. Don't rip up your lottery ticket and claim network marketing isn't for me. Instead, take responsibility of your business to become an expert. So if you've done this, if you're one of the ones that did this, it's time to reevaluate. It's time to replan the business, and you've got to develop skills, and you got to talk to more and more and more people. It's a numbers game, like you always hear. The more people you talk to, the more chance you have of people joining your business or becoming customers. So if somebody tells you this when you're trying to prospect them, kind of reshift their thinking, because you don't want people joining your business that are like this, because they're going to get frustrated when those set amount of people that they think are guaranteed to join don't join, and they're going to end up quitting themselves. So the people that accept this fact right here are going to make big money. Another myth: although nice, timing and position are not important. There's no angle, so don't look to get lucky. Luck is merely when preparation meets opportunity, so it's time to prep. Instead, focus on what you can control, and you will control your future. So yes, timing and position are nice. Obviously, if you get in at the right time or in a good position where people happen to be placed underneath you, you're going to see some success in the beginning, but that's not your success. That's other people building your business. So look at that as gimmies. Look at that as, oh, that's nice, and I kind of got lucky in that aspect, but I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to learn the skills that is required for me to become a professional, because I promise you, if somebody builds your team for you, it will fall apart at some point, because you don't have the skills to keep it together. You don't have the skills to lead your team. So don't look at it like that. You don't want to get in and have a whole bunch of people placed underneath you. I mean, obviously it's nice. Again, don't get me wrong. But you also want to develop the skills that is required for you to build it yourself at the same time, so you can sustain that organization for the long haul. If not, you're going to have a very short business. You might make a little bit of money, but it's going to go away as fast as it came. These things like timing and position are not important for the long-term success. Developing skills, you are the only thing that matters. In developing skills, you will become an expert in the industry, and you will develop your success as a byproduct. So you have to develop skills. I think that we've said that enough. You have to develop skills to be successful long-term in this business. Again, you can be successful short-term by getting lucky or having good timing, but long-term sustainability in this business, it requires you to develop skills. Another myth: the idea of leveraging a team to make money is powerful, but often misunderstood. You cannot enroll, sign up a couple people, and sit back waiting on checks to come in. Just like getting any business off the ground, you will have to work a couple of years to get it going and learn how to do it along the way. Again, good thing about this business is it's forgiving, and you can earn money while you learn these things. In a lot of other businesses, you don't have that cushion. You don't have that buffer to be able to make mistakes. But with this business, you do. So don't take your team for granted. Don't just rely on your team. You have to continue to build your business yourself. So don't just go out there and try to get 3 people and have them build everything for you, and then you just sit back and watch the checks roll in. Again, that's going to be good short term, but eventually, if you don't lead your team will go backwards or completely fall apart. So you do not have to know everything to be successful in this industry. It's an earn while you learn business, and there's no other way around it. You must take action to get it off the ground and perfect your craft along the way. Elements to your business. Number 1, everyone in this company has the same products to offer to the public. Every single person that starts has the same product. If some people are successful in marketing those products and you're not, it isn't the product's fault. So I think that's very key to understand. It's not the product, because other people are very, very successful at marketing this product. Number 2, everyone has the same compensation plan. If some people are making a lot of money and you're not, it isn't the compensation plan's fault or the company's fault or anybody else's fault. The only variable that is different is number 3, you. Everyone has the same product and the same compensation plan, but you are going to be the difference between success and failure. So it all comes down to you. It all comes down to your willingness to learn the skills, and how fast that you can learn those skills and how fast you can apply what you learn out in the marketplace. So are you committed to building a large and successful organization? Hopefully the answer is yes if you're on this boot camp. Are you sure? Hopefully, again, the answer is a resounding yes if you're watching this boot camp. So do this. Take responsibility and never believe that your upline is responsible for you achieving the success you want. They are a resource, not an excuse. So it doesn't matter who signed you up into this business. Doesn't matter if they're long gone. Doesn't matter if they're still around. Doesn't matter. None of that stuff matters. What you should get to the point where you can say, I may call on you from time to time. If you're available, that's great. If not, that's okay too. I'm going to build my business, and I understand one thing: it begins and ends with me. Somebody has to be that fire starter. After that, people can start throwing logs on the fire, but somebody has to be the one that initially starts that fire. And why? Who better else to do it than you? Whoever you are watching this, it can be you. As a matter of fact, it has to be you for you to have a long-term sustainable business. So there's other people, like I said, they can throw logs on the fire, but there has to be one person that's the fire starter. So everything changes when you take full responsibility of your network marketing career. Everything. It's actually very liberating when you say everything, whether success or failure, is on my shoulders. I'm not going to blame the company or the compensation plan or the products or my upline or the people that are working with me or my downline or the sidelines or anybody. I'm not going to blame anybody for anything that happens in my business. I'm going to take full responsibility for my successes and my failures. So try that and try to become that person. As a matter of fact, don't try to do it, just do it. So you need skills. We've talked about that quite a bit on this training. You have to develop skills. After realizing that your goal should be to become a professional network marketer, you need to develop skills. Unlike most professionals, however, you won't need a lot of money. So most professions require a lot of money. Doctors, lawyers, there's several other professions that require you to dump a lot of money into becoming trained. With this, all you have is the only cost you have is just an initial starter package, and then you have free mentorship for the rest of your time in this business. So it's absolutely incredible what we have in this business. I can't get over how genius of a business model network marketing is. And, there's just so many misconceptions that I feel like if everybody understood network marketing, everybody would be doing network marketing. That's how good it is. So in addition to that, it's the most equal opportunity on earth. It doesn't matter your age, race, background, financial situation, current skill set, et cetera. All you need is a desire to learn, work ethic, and a passion to succeed. So again, this is the most level playing field that you could possibly be on. Everybody starts with the exact same thing. Everybody starts with zero QV, nobody on their team, same product, same compensation plan, same company, same tools, same app, same webinars. All that stuff is the exact same. So your willingness to learn the skills and then apply those skills is going to be the difference between your success and your failure. Finally, the skills necessary to succeed are learnable, and you have a shocking amount of people financially motivated to help you learn them. Again, you have free mentorship in this business. Use it. Don't let it just sit there without using it. Use your mentorship. Reach out to the people that have done it before, and they can teach you how to do what they've done. So reach out to them, get their information that they have, learn what they did, and then apply what you learn. So, but there is one catch. You must accept at the beginning of your journey in network marketing, you must accept a temporary loss of social esteem from ignorant people. And this comes from GoPro Eric Worre. Some people will have a hard time accepting that you're in network marketing, and it's because they don't understand it. And that's 100% true. People just don't understand it. Truth be told, some people may think you're crazy or make fun of you. Just remember, people can be genuinely sincere in their concerns, but they can also be sincerely wrong. And that's the case with most people. They're sincere, and they say, well, you might not want to do that because I've heard this, and this, or whatever. but they're sincerely wrong with what they're saying because they don't understand it. So you must accept a temporary loss of social esteem from ignorant people. You have to be willing to accept that if you want to be a professional, if you want to make it in this industry. So skill number one that you must acquire is finding prospects. If you don't get prospects, there will be nothing else to learn in this business. There's no need to learn anything else if you can't find prospects. If you can't find prospects and then eventually turn those people into distributors, there will be nothing else that you need to learn in this business. Everything else that you learn in this business will be useless if you don't learn how to recruit. So how do we find prospects? The differences. So in the poser category, here's what the posers do as far as finding prospects. They make a mental list of a few people and base their future on that list. They may get lucky, enroll someone, and make another mental list. Odds are they probably won't. The next thing they do is they see what happens and they don't develop their skills. So again, they're taking that lottery ticket mentality. They're going to get in, I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to see if people are placed underneath me. I'm going to see if these first 5 people that I think are going to join are going to join. And they're going to hope to get lucky, but luck better happen fast so they can transition to amateur. Otherwise they give up. So posers truly view this as a lottery ticket. If I don't scratch off those winning numbers, I'm going to give up, and that's it. Now amateurs take it maybe are a little bit better, but they start in the right direction with a written list of maybe 100 people. They charge out with excitement and no skill. As the names on their list start to go down, their anxiety goes up. Their biggest fear is running out of names and people to talk to on their list. So amateurs are a little bit better than the posers. At least they write down some people on a piece of paper and they're reaching out to them. But then once that list starts to dwindle and they might not have gotten anybody to sign up, once those numbers start to go down, their anxiety starts to go up and they start to think, oh my gosh, this is actually going to work for me. How am I going to continue to find people? How am I going to do this if all these people say no and then this business is over? This is not going to work for me. The professionals, on the other hand, they approach finding people as a skill. In other words, it's part of their job to find new people to add to their list. They don't believe in luck or running out of people and develop skills to make sure that never happens. They start with a written list and make a commitment to never stop adding to their list. They create an active candidate list and try to add people daily to the list that they run into or they meet, etc. They know there's no such thing as a good list, and that's not their ticket to wealth. And they know that there's no such thing as a bad list where you fail and hope to get lucky. Understand that finding quality people is a skill. A professional understands that their job is to educate people and treat this profession with respect. So step number one, here's how you find prospects. Step number one, make a list as comprehensive as possible and include every person you can think of. Every single person. It doesn't matter if you think they're a prospect or not, everyone goes on the list. This is another thing from GoPro by Eric Worre. Your network equals your net worth. So it doesn't matter if you hate these people, if you love them, if you barely know them, or even know how to contact them. It doesn't matter. Put them on the list. It doesn't matter if they're positive, negative, popular, unpopular, or even have said, I'll never do MLM. Put them on the list. It doesn't matter if they have no money or don't need the money. Put them on the list. Don't ever prejudge. You never know who is open. Don't make a decision for someone. Let them make up their own mind. So I'm sure a lot of you have done this before, but you're thinking about reaching out to somebody and then you actually come up with their answer for them before even reaching out. Don't do that. Who are you to answer a question for somebody? Who are you to decide if this is for somebody or not? Your job is simply to get the information in front of them and let them make the decision. So it's important to do this because as you empty your mind out on paper, it will make room for more new contacts to find room in there. So it'll allow for, sorry, there's a bug flying around my face. When you write down your nephew, you will begin to think about the circle of people around your nephew. All of these connections will become apparent to you as you make your list more and more comprehensive. So it's very important to just empty everything out of your brain onto a piece of paper. And then you can go back and decide kind of who you want to reach out to first, whether you want to reach out to them at all. That's completely up to you. But the most important thing is to get every single person you can think of onto a piece of paper, whether you know how to contact them or not. If you think about someone that you knew in 5th grade, put them on a piece of paper, and you might have never talked to them since 5th grade, put them on a piece of paper. We have a lot of tools nowadays with social media where we're able to find people. So it's very important to just try to remember it first. And there's several different memory joggers. If you just Google memory joggers for network marketing, a lot of them will pop up, and that'll kind of give you some genres of people to think about that you might have forgotten about over the course of the years. It's a great tool to use. So I'd highly suggest Googling memory joggers for network marketing. Step one, continued. There is also magic in writing down all the names of people you know. When you physically illustrate every letter of someone's name, it activates a special part in your brain, allowing you to recall even more people. So psychology, there's a psychology to writing things down. It activates different parts of your brain when you actually write things down as opposed to using a computer or just thinking about it. So think about everything, every organization you've ever been involved in, every group you've ever been a part of, everything you've ever done. If you do this right, it will end up being hundreds and hundreds and maybe even thousands of people, to be honest with you. So I know I could probably get 1,000 people on a piece of paper, more than that, because I have more than 1,000 people on my Facebook. So, start with your phone and your Facebook, but then really think back to different things that you've done throughout the years, maybe even before social media was a thing. And you'll probably remember a lot more people even outside of your social media. So you're not required to prospect everyone on the list. That's completely up to you, but it's extremely important to do the work necessary to truly capture your network on paper. So you want to know what you're dealing with. A lot of times people say, well, I only know about 100 people, or I only know like 15 people. I only have 15 people on my phone and 45 people on my Facebook. Well, that's fine. But you've probably met and known a lot more people than that in your whole entire life. So it's very important to get all those people on a piece of paper and then decide what you're going to do with them. Step number 2, begin looking at your list and thinking about the people, begin thinking about the people. Okay, there's a typo there. Begin thinking about people that you know. Chances are you'll know most of them also. Begin thinking about people that they know. Chances are you'll know them, most of them also. Think about members of your family. Who do they know? Add them to your list. Think about your friends. Who do they know? Add them to your list. Think about all the relationships in your life. Who do they know? Add all those people to your list. Those are all potential prospects. Everybody that you can think of as a potential prospect. And then, so that's another reason why it's important to write everybody on a piece of paper, because then you can break them down and go into those individual people and say, okay, well, who do I know from those people? Or who do they know? I mean, who do I know that they know that may not be on the list already? So tip, look at mutual friends of old friends on social media and add them to your written list. Okay, so there's a way to do it through social media. Don't worry about what you're going to do with this list or how you'll contact them. We're about to get to that here in just a second. So step number 3, constantly expand your list. Pros call this the active candidate list, and it never stops growing. Make a goal to add at least 2 people to your list every single day and connect with those people somehow, even if you don't prospect them. You never know in the future. So I think that's where a lot of people get it wrong too when they first get started, is they want to talk to everybody right away about the business, but that's not necessarily the best way to do it. The best way to do it is start to build relationships with people and then find that right time to introduce Kyani to them. So don't go into every conversation that you have with the anticipation of talking to them about Kyani. Go into every conversation with really the goal of being to catch up with somebody or to actually have a real conversation to find out about them. And then if something comes up during that conversation, then you can introduce whatever you want to introduce to them, whether it be the product or the business. But don't go into every conversation, because then it's going to seem like it's forced. Might be a little bit awkward. So go into every conversation with the anticipation of just simply having a conversation with somebody, just like a normal person. So if you think about it, this is a core skill. You'll realize it isn't very hard. You come into contact with people every day. Just add them to your list. If you meet people online or while you're out, connect with them and add them to your list. So just go out. Don't go out with the intent of prospecting, but go out and prospect when the opportunity arises. So most people you get to know in this business are not people you knew before. So live your life, and while you're out meeting with people, add them. Again, step number 3, we get introduced to new people all the time, and posers and amateurs don't even notice. So if you're in the poser or amateur category, you might not even, that chance interaction with the server at the restaurant that you go and eat at, you might not even think of that as an opportunity, but professionals do. The amateurs and the posers go through their day saying, what people? I don't see any people. Professionals develop a higher level of awareness, and they pay attention to the world. So you have to become aware when you go out, and it's going to be a little bit different. You're going to have to kind of shift your awareness when you go out and you do anything, because now you are really looking for people because, like the old saying goes, you're walking by diamonds every single day. You just have to you have to be able to find them, and you have to be able to develop the relationships with them so they trust you and they go into business with you. So how hard would it be to raise your awareness and add 2 new people a day to your list? If you did that 6 days a week, that is over 600 new people a year. Do that for 5 years, and it's over 3,000 people. Can you see why professionals don't worry about running out of people to talk to? So you should never worry about people to talk to. Now, you're not going out cold marketing. You're going out looking to add people to your list to warm them up and get them into your warm market. Then you can introduce them. Then you can introduce them to the business or the product. So don't go out with the intention of just cold marketing and passing out business cards and doing all those things. Go out with the intention of adding people to your list and making them warm contacts from cold, and then introducing them when the time is right. So please understand, You should not assault those people with your pitch. And this kind of goes along with what I was just saying. The moment you are introduced, just add them to your list, make friends, develop a connection. And when the time is right, you can help them understand what you have to offer. Step number 4, network on purpose. Professionals network on purpose. It's hard to meet new people if you're hiding from the world. Get out there, have fun, join a new gym, have fun with a new hobby, volunteer for a cause that's important to you, whatever the case may be, whatever you enjoy doing, get out and do it. Get out of your house and just meet new like-minded people. Find places and organizations where you can meet new people. Not only will it be good for your business, but you'll also make some great friends. So it's a win-win. Even if you don't grow your business one day, then you at least have made some new friends, some great friends that have like mind and like interests. So don't go out to cold prospect. No one likes the smell of commission breath. And I like that. Just live your life and meet people. Eventually you can take your cold prospects and warm them up so they become part of your warm market. So we kind of talked about that a little bit just a second ago. Look for ways to bless others in your community. Become important. Like Andy Andrews says, compete at a level where others don't know you're competing, where other people don't even know there's a game going on. And that's what this is all about. It's all about getting out there and making connections and building relationships. And then you can put people on your list and introduce them when the time is right. So the more people you know, the more connections you're making, the more relationships you're forming, the better odds you have of finding that rock star, that stud that's going to join your business and really run with you. So now it's action time. It's time to make a list. So after watching this, do exactly what we said. Do exactly what was said in this a couple of slides ago, is empty everybody that you have ever met out onto a piece of paper, no matter if you think they're interested or not, whether you think they have the money or not, whether you even know how to get in contact with them or not. Just put them on a piece of paper and then work on trying to reach out to all those people and just start relationships or rekindle relationships or build relationships. So, it starts with the little things. In order for us to move on and take advantage of the rest of the boot camp, we have to do this very essential step. Some people will say they will do this and never do, so we're going to do it together. And obviously we can't do it together because this is a recording after the fact. But if you were at the boot camp when we actually went over all this, we all sat around and put a whole bunch of people on a piece of paper, and then we started contacting people. So I would suggest, if you're watching this, for you to do the same thing. As soon as this is over, empty everybody out of your mind, put it all on a piece of paper, and then start contacting those people. So a tip, it's best to make a written list, but take a picture or type it up later on just in case you lose it. So just a little pro tip. So you don't want to lose your list. If you spend a lot of time putting everybody on a piece of paper, you don't want to lose that list and have to start all over. So that concludes the very first training of our actual boot camp. It's a super exciting thing, guys. So hopefully everybody is really taking advantage of this boot camp and the amazing trainings and all the tools and everything that you're getting throughout this boot camp. And hopefully everybody's made the decision to actually take action on all of this and go out and build their business and completely change their lives. So don't forget what this boot camp is really all about. It's about all out massive action for 90 days from homecoming till the Las Vegas convention. It's all out massive action every single day, doing the steps that are required for you to get to where you need to be. So I just wanted to share this with everybody that may not have had a chance to come to the boot camp because you're in an out of town market, or anybody that really, maybe if you were there and you just want to re-listen to this and see the slides and all that stuff and just go over the information again. But again, this is essential. So your homework after this is to make a list of everybody that you've ever met, put them all on a piece of paper. Doesn't matter if you know them, it doesn't matter if you know how to get in contact with them. Doesn't matter who they are. None of that stuff matters. Every single person you've ever met, and put them on a list. And then you can decide kind of what to do with them from there. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for watching this back. But I'm going to go ahead and conclude this. And I'll look forward to seeing every one of you very, very soon, whether it be on a Zoom or in person.